Good morning, Striper here. Just heading out past Morvick alongside the river. It's really nice. I still got the Vibra barefoot, so I'm going to keep them on as long as I can. Yeah, so maybe a bit more about yesterday. So picked up a lovely chap, Italian guy. I think he was a patisserie chef out of Edinburgh, and I think he said he threw his compass away. So I don't think he was prepared for the navigational challenges. So I saw him coming up behind me at one point when I was coming up towards the Belach and the ridge yesterday. So I hung on and made sure we came down together. So I just went over a wee bridge. Oh jeez, right. Okay. So yeah, this is the most challenging thing that I think I've done, primarily because my feet are knackered. That's 2 days of wet feet, and I was actually wondering whether I could actually continue for any longer today. So hence change out footwear. I don't know how long I'll get away with the Vibra barefoots, but so far they're comfortable. It's not like walking in hot coals, so as long as that continues and it's not dangerous or slippy, then I'll stick with them. But I'll catch up with you later. Hello, future sniper here. I'm about to take you through the map for day 6. So what I'll start off by doing is I'm going to show you this quickly. So I didn't take a conventional map case, I just got a large Ziploc bag, put a couple of brass rings in here, just with a pliers thing, you put them in, and put an old cable through for another case, and that worked out really well. It's about half the weight of anything else I'd used. All I'd say is beware of that. If you're putting the bit that you want to see in, make sure it's facing that way so it doesn't get impacted by the logo on the other side, but that worked really well. So yeah, as you can see, yesterday I was very relieved to get to Bothie at Bhuidhe, and from the next day you're straight out into the bog. There's no hiding from it. It's going to be wet, miserable, slippy, and this is actually quite steep. I probably went a little bit too high, so be wary of doing that. Just find a way to get over, and as soon as you can see the loch, then you know it's quite obvious where you've got to go. You've just got to go down to the side of it. So this is horrible. Alternatively, you've got the path coming along here. This bit's great, so you can make up lots of good time coming along here, and by the time you get to here you can look down and you can see the Bendrone Bothie down there. I think it's actually, I don't think it's a NBA one, I think it's a private hut. But as you come back here, you're going to be turning right and going up. Still a good track up here until you hit the side of the kind of reservoir lock in there. Now we're only on to day 5, and already you're getting rid of the map for the south. So we're on to the north map now. So what we're going to be doing here is, you can see this is where we came along, this is where the Bothie is, this is where you've turned right, and just follow it as best you can. It really peters out from here on in. I didn't go to Bernays. I didn't fancy this because I'd seen what the weather forecast was like, especially here. We'd been told crossing the river, crossing the river was going to be challenging if there was a lot of rain and the river was in spate. So back to here, and again it was saying I probably went too far down into the bog and marsh. I was slipping and falling a lot. It was absolutely horrible. So I did find a bit of a path, but there's really nothing to it, and you've just got to suck it up and get on with it until you get to the Belach. Not a lot there. I mean, there's great hills all around you, but I just, the snow, the wind, the rain was terrible. I just wanted off the hill, and you could see more weather fronts coming in. So I made as quick time as I could, again in the Vibro barefoots, so that was day 2 for those, in the rain and the wet, and all the way down here. And it's quite steep, I just had to take my time. Down at the Wire Bridge, there was a couple, spoke to them, they were in bagging a few Munros. and as was another guy further on, because you hit this really good track here and can make good time all the way around. Now I was keen to stay to the north here onto the road because I didn't want to try getting over the river. I was going to stay at Jerry's, but it was closed. To be fair, I just phoned and knocked the door and caught them on hop, and I don't think they were ready. So that left me with a dilemma. I couldn't stay there, so I had to head to, well, I made the decision to go up Coulin Pass, which is an old rights of way. It's rotten. It's really steep, overgrown, boggy, hardly a path there at all. It was blimmin' awful. So eventually got through there. There's nowhere you can camp, I could see, and certainly once you get out and onto the road, there's nothing. It's really exposed, lots of deer there, and I'd kind of really losing the will by this point. It was way past 6 o'clock. Got to the junction here, stopped, I'd camped there, and actually it was an okay spot, but very damp next to the river, and there was ice in the morning. In hindsight, with a little bit more energy, I'd have taken a step back to is it Eason, Dorcha, which is a MBA hut. I don't think it's even a Bothie. Maybe I've taken shelter there, but it would be, you know, maybe a mile out and a mile back. And yeah, that's where I stayed there. So I hope you're finding these useful. I'll speak to you again soon. Good morning. There was a bit of snow overnight, pretty cold actually. Ice on the windows on the inside, but all looking good this morning as long as those clouds stay over there. And as you'll see, I'm here. And looking back at the Bothie, so kind of bushwhacking to try and get the trail at the other side and head down to the other Bothie. I figured out the name of it, Bed something. Should hopefully be there shortly. Hi there, so just taking a quick break, resting my feet for a little bit. So this is, I think it's day 6, I'm starting to lose count. So yeah, it's been good in terms of I've just slowed down the pace, got into it. Certainly my hill legs are back. It's just if it hadn't been for those vibro bare feet, I don't think I'd still be here. I mean, those hokas are still wet on the inside, so they're hanging on the back of my rucksack. Socks are almost dry, which is I'll probably try and put those on at some point, just because I don't think the barefoots, literally with no socks, are going to cut it for what's going to be 170 odd miles or something like that. So I'll need to come up with a plan C, because they're obviously plan B. But really nice night last night. The Bothie was really nice. Didn't take any video and stuff because there was a couple of guys there from London. Really nice, engaging, nice chat. Way to bed early, and early this morning away for me. And a real slog over the marsh. I mean, so difficult to make the miles, and it says that in the book. It looks something different on the map, and maybe it's because it's the 1 to 40,000, but the book tells you don't underestimate it, and there's the truth. Catch you later. Whew. You may not see this, it's just started snowing. I went too far down towards the Bothie and just had to climb up here to get back to the path. Glad I noticed when I did. It's going to be another long day, but it's been okay. It's still absolutely stunning. The terrain's so challenging, you know. on its own if you get swamp, divots, rain, sleet, snow, high winds all together. It's interesting. Makes an interesting spectacle. You can see the snow clouds there. There we go. Speak to you later. Hi there. So it's Thursday the 29th of April. It's 8 o'clock. I don't have a signal. And if I did, I'd be on the phone to my son, who's 26 today. So if you do, for whatever reason you ever come across this, very happy birthday. And sorry I couldn't speak to you today, so hence the message out the blue when I had signal before. But hope you had a great day. This was really tough. You know, I'm not looking at mileage, but I know I've done over 51,000 steps or something like that. A couple of falls and slips, and my feet, funnily enough, aren't any worse. And that's 2 full days wearing the Vibro barefoots and not wearing the Hoka boots. And I'm doing that without socks. So everything's dry. Well, the boots and the socks are dry. So I'll try them both tomorrow. I have had a gear failure. We'll decide later if it's a failure. And in fact, we've had two things that one doesn't owe me anything, but I was surprised that it happened. The other, we'll need to see if it was user error. We'll come back to that. So I ended up taking the Coulin Pass, just conscious of the bad weather and the snow and the hail and the high winds that were coming in, that I can always do. You just got to get to Cape Wrath to do the Cape Wrath Trail. So it's a walk going into a Sint that I would do with the rest of the guys and stuff. So I mean, I'd love to go back and do that. So why do it now when it's just going to be a trudge and a chore, and weather's bad, I'm not in the best, my feet aren't great. There's no point in tempting fate, so I think it's the right thing to do. I'm so tired. Oh, I need to go and get water, and I need to clean out. There's a river right there. I don't know if you can hear it. It's right there, but I need to go outside. It's been raining. I need to wash the one dehydratable bag that I've kept, and the rest of it I just tip in. So I'm going to have to force myself to have some tea. I've literally just put the tent up, eating chocolate, peanut butter and dry cereal just to try and get some calories, and I was starting to shiver a bit when the rain came on again. So I should really look at the maps. I might show you, and this doesn't turn out how I expected it. I thought, I'll have loads of time, show you guys everything that's going on, and I will do when I get back. So I can probably see this being a kind of montage of all the clips, and then maybe a bit more information afterwards. And if you want to ask me questions, obviously feel free. It's been quite a challenge so far. Even doubting, I was actually doubting, saying, do you really want to do this? I've never had that with any of the other long walks. I've had doubts about whether I can do it and what I'd let myself in for. But the weather's not been great for the last 4 days. So it's been sunny at times, gets your hopes up, and then starts snowing, peeing down. Anyway, I'm havering, so I'll get off. Sniper out. Catch you later. Hello, Future Snipes here. Just when I had the camera out, I thought I'd quickly show you this as well. So what you'll see here is my mat, but on top of that I've got the Xbed medium snozzle sack, and everything that wasn't in my 2 Dyneema roll sacks went into this and popped in the top of the rucksack, and that worked really well. So that's the medium snozzle sack from Xbed. The actual mat I used, you can see before, it's the Xbed Sin Mat UL7M. It's been brilliant for me. I know some people have had issues with them popping. You'll see from the colour, this is an old one. I think I've had it since 2015, 2014 maybe. So yeah, now issues with them. So I did in the Bothie, a restless sleeper that night, and was tossing and turning, and I woke up with a bang, and basically the whole middle baffle had gone. Now, I'm not really sure if I'm going to call this a gear failure or not, because it didn't stop it working. It still stayed inflated, and it still provided the comfort and insulation required. And it actually kind of, if I was lying on my back, kind of filled my spine in a way which was actually quite comfortable. So thought it was worth showing you that. Is it a gear failure? I'll maybe let you decide. It certainly owes me nothing, this. It's been a great piece of kit for me. So yeah, that's the Xbed Sinmat UL7M, so that's the standard size, and yeah, it went pop in the night.